Please give it up. We have Summer Glau and Sean Mayer. Well, thank you, both of you, for joining us here in London. That's a nice way to start a Saturday afternoon, isn't it?
Sure.
A room full of people screaming and cheering.
Hang on, I wasn't ready.
Summer looked terrified when you pointed that camera out of there. Bless her. So thank you very much. And what do you think it is that the Firefly had that was brought all these people here to see you today? What's that appeal, do you think, that the audience love it?
Adam Baldwin. I don't know, what do you think?
Well, we've talked about this over the years because we didn't expect to, we really couldn't picture how this would turn out and that we'd still be getting together and celebrating this show that was so brief. But I think maybe part of the magic is that it was brief and yet so powerful.
What?
She said, no, it's not.
I think it was a very, very special story with the perfect combination of characters, and I think that no matter who you are, you can somehow relate and find yourself in the story, and I don't know, I never seen anything quite like it. We never could have pictured that we'd be here today talking about it.
Yeah. And I think, we all talk about it, and it sounds like a cliche, but I think the cast was really, we're like family now, but I think back then it was really sort of instantaneous, and I think that sort of kind of organic chemistry was something that made our jobs effortless and fun and delightful, and I think that couldn't help but be projected. And I do think, I will second the whole, having it be snatched away, I think we all sort of felt just slighted somehow. And so we just, keep coming back and talk about it and celebrate it, because it was lovely.
And then they snatched it away, and then the fans went crazy, and lo and behold, you end up with a movie.
Yeah.
How did you first find that out? And what was your reaction?
I didn't think it was gonna happen. I've talked about this so many times. We were together at Joss's house, and Joss was cooking us dinner. I was a crazy eater back then, and he was cooking me a special piece of fish, right? I was so annoying. But he said he was leaving to go to Cape Cod to write the script, and I was like, what? Is this actually happening? And they had talked about finding another life for it, but I think at that point I was jaded because that was my third canceled series with Fox. Oh no, my fourth canceled series with Fox. Yes, 4. So I just thought, everyone thinks there's going to be a life outside the show, and it just never happens. It's a lovely sentiment, and but yeah, he had told us that it was happening, and he was off to write the script, and I still didn't believe him until the table read. For me, it was the table read. Even when my agent called with the offer, and I still was like, this isn't really happening. But it was at the table read that we just sort of sat there and started, reading these words of these characters who I had missed so much, and they're being spoken by these people that I loved so much. And so that moment for me was kind of when I knew it was happening.
And so, how the characters in that movie, it was set, the plot kind of you had a large chunk of that time in that movie. It was about your two characters. When you first became aware of that, were you kind of like, oh wow, this is going to be quite a nice, juicy chunk of the story for us? Because in some big TV movies, when they bring them back, it's kind of, they're trying to get a lot of the cast in every which way. But here, and it kind of stayed true to the series in that effect, they focused on your characters a bit more. What was your reaction when you read that in the script and you kind of saw that?
Oh, well, Summer had to train for 6 months.
I couldn't believe how many pages I was on. It was like I couldn't believe how much Joss was trusting me to well, you know, he told me that he was going to make River, you know, a martial arts expert, and I trained for quite a long time before we started shooting the film, so I got invested really early, and it became my life. Because Joss wanted me to do the fight scenes myself, I had to really genuinely learn how to do martial arts from nothing. So in that way, it did become my life, and the film was not only just it was incredible to be back home with the family, but it was an incredible experience for me as a person, because it really pushed me. It pushed me to do something that I never thought I could do, and on certain days didn't want to do. And I'm really grateful for the experience on so many levels.
So we're going to throw the questions out to you, ladies and gentlemen. So the microphones are there, so if you wish to queue behind them, then feel free. But while we wait for those, there's one gentleman there just rushing to the front.
Question for you both. Do you have a current favourite science fiction series like Legion or Westworld?
Or Stranger Things.
I'm enjoying Westworld quite a lot. I love it. It's a good plot. Stranger Things is on my queue. list.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, this gentleman.
You can just shout.
I don't know about now you did that. Trying to kiss it.
Is there anything you'd want to do, particularly with Joss, if it was offered? If it was like a comic or a film you saw as a property and you would take it to Joss, is there anything you two would want to do with Joss specifically?
I mean, kind of anything.
Next to anything, yeah. For next to anything.
Yeah.
Joss for years was trying to write a ballet. We were going to do a short film ballet, and things kept coming up, but it was we talked about him. He was going to compose the music and the story, and things just he kept getting other jobs and wasn't able to focus on it. But maybe one day before I get hip replacements, we can do that. Or maybe after, it might be better. I don't know.
Okay, so we'll go around with the gentleman there.
I'd just first of all like to thank you both for your work on Firefly. I'm sure we all appreciate it, and that's why we're here and supporting you guys. My question's for Summer. Do you think the Sarah Connor Chronicles will ever come back? And if so, how would you like to see them come back?
I'd like to just pick up where our cliffhanger left off. I was really excited about that. We really anticipated coming back. We were talking about the next season, and the story was going to be incredible. And it wasn't until the very last minute that they decided they were deciding between two shows, and we were on the unfortunate end of that. I was really devastated because that character was such a gift for an actor, and was very invested. I loved what Josh did with that series. He was a true fan of the original, knew it inside and out, and really created something that I thought worked well for television. And for my part, I was just captivated with the character and with my cast. So I would absolutely jump at the chance to come back, and like I said, I would just love for us to pick up where Josh intended us to.
Maybe Netflix originals.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another question for Summer. What is your favourite... You're just not as pretty, sorry sir.
I'm almost tempted to not let you ask a question for that.
What is your favourite ballet?
Oh, that's a good question. I want to know that.
Actually, Giselle. And it was funny because I never danced it in real life, and then Joss let me dance it on national TV without seeing me dance when he cast me. So that was pretty daring, and such a great memory for me. And I was in a ballet company in South Texas, and you have limited choices about what people will come to see, and long, full-length romantic ballets are not at the top of the list. So I never danced it, and then I actually wasn't even at the original audition. I snuck into the callback after they had already done the dancing auditions because I didn't get in. So I snuck in, and that's where I met Joss. I didn't know what he looked like, so I didn't know it was him. And I dressed in full ballet outfit, thinking I might have to dance, which now I know is not how you audition. But I read for him, and afterwards he told me that he told the casting director, as long as her feet aren't cement, I'm gonna let her do this role. And it turned out, I was a far more qualified dancer than I was an actress. I never acted before. So it was a very special memory, and I couldn't believe how much Joss let me dance, and he even added an extra shoot day. He really enjoyed ballet. I think he really enjoyed the process of shooting it, and he even added an extra day of dance so that he could shoot more of it. And it was just a really, really special way to start your acting career with Joss. Yeah.
Okay, and we want this lady here.
Hi, my question is based on the fact that we all love to rewatching the series and anything about it. So have you guys ever played the Firefly board game before?
Board game? I have not.
Not.
I have not. Once my daughter's old enough to not swallow the pieces.
I know. Well, that's
Yeah,
that is something. It's like right now, I think board games have to, for me and you, involve small children.
Yes.
Actually, was yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't even think I understand the game. Funny enough, I think I was given a little tutorial at a convention, and I was just like, "Yeah, great, thanks so much." And I walked away, I was like, "What the?" Yeah.
Makes me a little bit sad, Sean, because I know that you have it. We bought it for you in New Zealand
I know.
a few years ago.
Yeah, no, I know. Is that you guys? Very good. Yeah, and it hasn't been. It has not been played.
We'd be happy to explain it for you.
Okay.
And we have a question on this side.
Hi, I know you were both in Conman, and was it nice working with the folks from Firefly, and would you do a project like that again?
I mean, they're all kind of assholes. Really miserable. Yeah, of course. I mean,
I would like to do it. A lot of people don't know I was in it because it was so brief, but I was in there. I was in there. I did a scene with Nathan and Joss, and it was awesome. But the best part was just seeing Alan directing and producing and writing and starring in and doing it so effortlessly and really enjoying it. I remember Nathan saying to me, that he was really, it was coming so naturally to him and that he was really relaxed and really able to enjoy the process, and so I was honored to be involved.
Yeah. I mean, I said yes without even reading it. And so to answer your question, yes, without reading it, yes.
There we go. Jim aside, the lady in pink.
Hi. Do you ever keep in contact with any of the crew? As in Nathan Fillion or...
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like the crew, like the camera guys, which we do.
Still see them all the time.
Yeah.
Different things.
Yeah. All of us keep in touch. I mean, pretty much. We try. A lot of us are parents now, and a lot of us live in different cities, and sometimes this is, our chance to see each other.
Our best way to see each other.
But yeah, no, we all keep in touch. We all keep tabs on each other.
Next question is lady.
I'd like to ask both of you, how did it feel playing in Firefly and Summer? How did you feel playing in Alphas?
Oh.
Alphas was so much fun. I had a great time with that cast, and it was the first time that I ever played a mother. So I enjoyed it tremendously, and I didn't want to leave. I ended up getting cast on something else, and so I wasn't able to go back onto the show. But that's another cast that I really keep in touch with. They're awesome. And as far as Firefly,
pretty miserable.
very boring.
It was a very violent set.
That was one of the good things about it.
Yeah. Everyone talks about the pranks. I'm like, what about the hitting?
Fire starting. No, it was.
There was bullying and name calling, and body shaming. Yeah, I'm talking about you, fatty.
Well, I did ask Joss if cryo made me look fat.
No, listen, Firefly was one of those like lightning in a bottle. It was one of those situations. I feel very blessed. I think you as well. We've had wonderful professional experiences. I can't think of a time where I've been like, ugh, I hate this job. Like, I've been so grateful that every job has been lovely. Firefly was extraordinary and exceptional and very, very unique. Every detail about it.
I'd also like to continue the question. If the series, both Firefly and Alphas, continued, what do you think the storyline would be?
Oh, man.
I wanted Simon and Kaylee to have babies.
Yes, that's the most important thing. And
important.
He said he would let me babysit, right?
Yep, Auntie River.
Yeah, Auntie River.
But they would need a chaperone.
Yeah, I would definitely need Jane's help or something. It's rough out there in space. I don't know. We get asked this question often. I always think I want to know what Joss wanted to happen, because he was very secretive, always, even with even the backstories of our characters, because there was always the possibility that he would bring the backstory into future episodes. So he was very secretive, and even now I really wonder. There were a few things that he told us after what happened, and it was so exciting and made it even harder to say goodbye. So I loved. I mean, if it ever did come back, I'd love to see some of those storylines come up. And I always thought that River should have her own business, maybe like move out on her own, have her own little ship, and maybe get a boyfriend.
Who wants to date crazy? It's so nice to have a dream. So cute.
I have a question for this aptly dressed young man.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that literally just stole my question. Right at the last minute, but yeah, so I was just going to say, are you able to tell us any of the details of some of the stuff you picked out that might have happened? Or can't you tell us because you're going to make series 2? When's that coming? Someone had to ask.
Oh my God, guys.
Not that was privy to many details.
There were a few, but I would definitely not
Not sure.
not mention them now. But yeah, there were a few. There were some.
And there was Anara's backstory, right?
Yeah, Nara's backstory and books.
Backstory.
And I heard a few things about Wash as well. That sounded really cool. But yeah, can't.
There are also some little. There are some really wonderful, like when Anara injects herself when the Reavers are impending and she goes to put the syringe in. I think when I read it and when I saw it, I obviously thought that she was going to kill herself because a death by Reaver would be so much worse, but she was actually injecting herself with a serum that if a Reaver raped her, the Reaver would die, which was this like crazy little detail that I never knew. Such a good show.
I got a question from the young lady here.
Hello, I was wondering, are there any particular moments which stand out from your time filming Firefly?
I mean, so many, like scenes or like moments on set?
Well, scenes, yeah.
Oh. Well, my favorite scene in everything is in Serenity. She takes down all those Reavers, like hands down. Like that's like ballet to me. That's like beautiful, and I think probably one of my favorite.
Thank you.
Moments.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes, that one is very important to me. I did it over and over and over again for months, and I remember my training would last all day, and I would have a section for my sword fighting because being a ballet dancer, I was long and really kind of gangly and flexible, and so they really worked that into the story. Or not into the story, into the technique that I learned. They created sort of a martial arts that would work for me based on what I could offer. So I remember I would have the sword fighting section of the day in which I would just go over and over the movements because they were trying to build up my strength, and I remember it would be really, really slow, like Gumby, swinging the axe, and then every day I would just keep repeating it and getting faster, and so looking at that scene just reminds me of how far you can come if you just keep working at it, and so that would be one of my favorites as well. And then the one that stands out the most for me in Firefly was in Objects in Space during the dream sequence when I'm in the cargo bay all alone, and the fall leaves are all over the ground, and I'm alone. It to me really represents how I felt about the whole experience, because for me, my child is being so loud. She's like, no, cut that out. She learned that from the Jets Jetsons. I don't know why. My husband showed her the Jetsons, and she loves it. She's gonna cut that out. Anyway, sorry about that. Mila, behave, please. No. But that scene just was like my life at that moment, because I never even auditioned for a series regular on a show, and the whole process was surreal. I never expected it to happen, and then there I was, and then working with Joss. That episode he directed, and that was the only episode where I worked every day, and I felt very just like a real actor, and it was just magical. So that would be my favorite.
It's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this gentleman here.
You've both had a number of series be cancelled before their time, so to speak. If you could have any of your cancelled shows revived, which ones would they be, and where do you think the story should go with them?
Besides Firefly?
There's only one answer.
That's just a given, right? You want to go?
That's a hard choice for you, I'm sure.
That went over my head. What happened? Somebody explain it.
Well, not because you've had a number of them. It's definitely not because of that. Guys, help me out here. I meant because you've had so many good ones. For me, it would be Terminator. I loved Cameron. I was having so much fun with that role, and just thank you. Yeah, I loved that role and I loved that cast, so that would be an easy one for me. But obviously, Firefly.
I did a series called The Playboy Club, which I loved it. It was a period piece. It was like all tits and ass, man. No, I was playing I was married to a Playboy bunny. We were each other's beards. We were both closeted homosexuals in 1960 Chicago. And it was about the Mattachine Society, which was the first pre-Stonewall, homosexual movement. So it was fascinating to me that there was like this movement, like because we all know about Stonewall, we all know about like the sort of the gay movement then, but there was all of this stuff happening that was felt very cloak and dagger, where people meeting in like basements at like 3 a.m. because you would be killed, you would be tried as a communist or killed. And so my character started that Mattachine Society in the series, and that was one of the subplots. And there was a lot of tits and ass over here. But I really was fascinated by that, and I loved, again, we talk about, it really makes it when you're, the show can be, kind of crappy, but if you're with the right people, it kind of makes it worth it. But it was a great show, and the cast was pretty lovely, and the girl I played opposite with, I stayed quite close with. So that would be it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys. I think, like, with comics-wise, because of course Joss and his brothers have continued with the stories of Firefly, and I think they've really captured your essence, and that's anyone that hasn't read them do. As much as we would love it on screen, at least we have something where we can sort of feel you guys, your presence there. That's kind of what I was saying. Sean, would you ever consider doing more Shakespeare with Joss? Don John, Much Ado About Nothing, loved it. I'm a big Shakespeare fan anyway, but I thought that particular adaptation was really, really well done, and would love to see more. So yeah, and some are involved as well in a future one.
Yeah. What I would absolutely do. Yeah, I would do. I was so scared, like terrified to do it the first time around, but it was one of the most exhilarating. I'd never done Shakespeare. Have you done Shakespeare? Yeah, no.
What was your favourite part about playing that role?
Well, I think just sort of it was such a unique experience in that we shot it, we shot it in 12 days in his house. We had a lot of rehearsal time, but, we had very little time to actually, to shoot it. So, he sat us down and said, I've got, I know exactly what I want. I'm going to set up a couple of cameras here and there. You're going to have one shot, maybe. So we all went on our own and did so much of our own homework and then showed up to set. So I think my experience with that was, being surrounded by, people who I admired as, friends and as actors show up with, 150%, which was extraordinary. And I think that the fear was sort of like stage fright for me. I don't even know what's going to happen. So it felt like walking out on stage, and he kind of caught that, So
yeah, I think that turns out really great.
Yeah. So that was it. I think what we watched in the final product was really just sort of live theater that he happened to catch on film. So I think just for that being sort of the experience that I had, with the movie, that was very unique to that situation. I've never been, and it was sort of we had that huge party scene. It was just looking around his backyard, just hundreds of people who were all there just because he asked. It was and Cirque du Soleil people, these two Cirque du Soleil artists, in the trees, and I was like, it's only Joss and Kai who could, gather. They're just friends with Cirque du Soleil acrobats. Of course they are, Come on, be in a movie. Great, they said yes, There they are, So it was really a pretty remarkable experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Because you've worked with sort of natural comedians like Alan and Nathan, what's your favourite funny moment that happened on the set of Firefly?
There's so many.
I think my favorite, you've all probably seen. It's on a bloopers reel. It's during the message.
Yes.
When we're all standing in a circle, and the camera's rotating 360 degrees, and Nathan keeps ducking under it, and then standing next to, y'all have seen it, right? It's genius, and I'm so mad at myself because I couldn't keep a straight. It would have been so funny. I have a really hard time not giggling, and and he came up next to me. I was trying so hard because he did it during rehearsal, which was so funny. We all wetting our pants. We were laughing so hard, and then of course, which speaks volumes as to what the set was like. Joss was like, "We've got to go again, and we've got to get that." We've got to get Nathan doing that thing. And so we were like, really? We're going to go take another take and spend the time to get this funny joke on camera.
Thank goodness he did.
Yeah, oh my God.
That was our last episode.
So I was like, I'm going to be straight faced and I'm going to do this. I'm going to be funny guy too. And then he comes over next to me and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, Nathan is so good at that.
Oh my God.
I have nervous laughter. That was one of the best. I'm really glad that we had that. All of us were there laughing together, being at our best. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for coming today. My question's for Summer. Sorry. You said you did a lot of martial arts when you did the training for the film Serenity. Is there anything that really sticks out for you, and any kind of forms in particular, or was it just kind of specific stuff kind of just for the film? Sorry.
Well, what sticks out for me still is how much respect I have for martial artists and how difficult it is. I was a ballet dancer. I worked all my life to learn how to do it, and I had so I had confidence in that way. And I remember my first day of martial arts training. Joss took me with two of the producers for my first day, and it felt like Summer's first day at martial arts. And they stayed and they watched me, and Joss found the most incredible stunt coordinator for us. I think he's the best, Chad Stahelski. And he kind of just watched me move, and I kind of flapped around and did some moves, and then he and Joss discussed that Joss really wanted it to seem dangerous, like a person my size could take out a room of burly men. So Chad had his work cut out for him, and it was my understanding from what I remember and what they told me that I did a combination of wushu, so hard, kung fu, and kickboxing. And so after my first day, Chad set me up with his favorite teacher, who happened to teach in Alhambra, which is, you don't really go there very often unless you live out that way, but it's East LA. In the park, in the summer, me and like 30, 12-year-old Asian assassin boys. And I'm like, okay, yeah, and they're like, I can't believe that they're letting this chick in the class. And it was a very humble beginning, and it ended humble as well, I might as well tell you. But I worked really hard just to kind of fit in with them. Nobody wanted to be my partner, and like that was the start. And so I did that for months, and then I started working out with the stunt team all day. And I remember they kept inviting me to the Saturday class. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm here all week. I'm not coming to the Saturday class where unless you throw up, you didn't work hard enough. That was the standard. I remember I finally got I got my fight scenes choreographed. I knew them inside and out, and then the guys put on their Reaver costumes, and I couldn't recognize their faces. So then I felt it was very disorienting. I remember they'd have to say, "Hey, it's Danny. All right, it's Mark," and so I would know which guy it was. But it was really a lot of fun. And another cool little detail is that since Joss wanted me to shoot the fights from start to finish, he didn't want to have to move the camera to make it look like it worked. I actually got to make contact with all the guys. So, I was supposed to lightly tap them, but I was an amateur, so sometimes, I would hit them a little hard. But I learned how to, all my kicks were actually making contact, all my punches were actually rolling off. So it was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. What's your favourite thing about London?
So much.
The parks.
The parks, the food. I've had the best. We both have had.
We have. I want to stay.
The best weeks.
It was fun. It was fun doing it with our kids.
Yeah.
We've been here a number of times, but
yeah. I mean, that was it for me. This time was like I saw it through the eyes of my children, and I was like, oh, wow, there's that too. It's been a magical week. I went to the Harry Potter tour. I know it's outside London, but that was fun.
So fun.
So fun.
You're so blessed to live here. I mean, this has got to be one of the greatest cities that there is.
Yeah.
Between being in the city, but also being able to enjoy such beautiful nature, right in the heart of the city. I wanted to have one day where we just sat with the ducks, but I was too greedy. There were too many things I wanted to do. I was like, Mila, get back in the stroller, we gotta go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I just like to say I really love Firefly, and I make all my friends watch it, force them to, and actually these are my favourite characters from the show.
Oh, you're just saying that.
But my question is, if you could do a crossover with Firefly and another show, which show would you like to do a crossover with?
That's a good
Dexter.
My answer to everything is Dexter. My dream role, Dexter. The show I wish was still continued, Dexter. Dexter.
Mine would be Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Favorite. That would totally work, guys.
I can't. I'm gonna leave that right there. That's amazing. That's what I thought, Mila.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last question on this side.
Hi. One of my favourite relationships in the whole of Firefly is between River and Simon, because they're brother and sister and go for great lengths for each other, but also come across as actual brothers and sisters teasing each other, like throwing up on Simon's bed and stuff like that, which I thought was really cute.
So cute.
Aww. Such a lucky big brother.
Never did that on my brother's bed. So what was your favourite scenes that you did together as brother and sister?
Well, not the first one. Really.
Oh, when you're crying?
Yes. I had to read the whole pilot to shoot that. We didn't shoot it until the very end, and I was so psyched up because that was my only scene. But my favorite, there's so many. I love all the quiet moments, all of our...
We had some really lovely, intimate... Yeah. So get your head out of the sewer.
But I've told this story so many times, but I remember during Serenity, we were shooting and something happened, and we decided to shoot the scene where we get shot. And from my perspective, I didn't know we were shooting it. I wasn't prepared, and I thought I was going to have more time to, really get myself mentally prepared for it. And we decided to rehearse it, which you're marking the spaces and making sure everybody knows their lines. But as soon as you fell down, it felt like I had gotten shot. I felt so emotional, and so we got ready to shoot a close up, and I still didn't know I had no sense of where the camera is or anything. I was just going on instinct, and I was crying so hard, and Joss came up to me and in his really gentle way of nurturing me, he said, that's really great, I love what you're doing, but can you cry a little more quietly because you're ruining Sean's close-up?
I didn't know that.
I ruined his close-up. I was like, of course, that's me, but that scene, but it just goes to show what an incredible actor Sean is, and how working with him just puts you in that, it just puts you there. I felt like I was really there.
Oh.
Yeah.
That scene though, when people ask, I forget how they've how did you guys do it? That comes up as like one of those moments where I feel like I didn't do anything in that scene. There's just sort of, and I remember like looking up and seeing everybody, and sort of the lines were blurred. It was like, oh, there's Summer, but it's River, but it's kind of the same thing, and like Marina's holding my abdomen and Jules over there, and like it was just like I didn't have to do anything. It was just sort of, to be in the company of such talented actors. But I think in the beginning, like all of our stuff, those were like my favorite days, like to just have the Simon River stuff, because I really loved working together, because I thought it was so effortless, and it really reminded me of like why I love what I do. Can you like tell your daughter to pipe down? I'm talking.
No respect.
Anyway, I love Summer. I think she's a fantastic actress, and I loved every. No Mei, It's Time to Wake Up, I think was one of my favorite moments in the series.
Yes. I was so blessed for my first time, really working with somebody, to be with an actor that made it so effortless for me. Yeah, we could talk about that all day, I guess. We should move on. Thank you.
We have time for one quick final question from this gentleman here.
No pressure.
For Sean, for us to change, Obviously, a lot of the other cast were in Buffy and Angel as well.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel you missed out not being in it? Would you like to be in that show as well?
You know, of course, but I also feel like I trust Joss enough that if I'm going to be thought of for something, and he thinks I'm right for something, he'll go for it. So I mean, of course, like I love those shows, and I love, I love working with him. Like, so of course I would have loved to have done it, but I don't know. I just I trust that he's kind of got everything in place, so I don't feel like, I don't feel like I missed out, you know. Because then like Much Ado comes out of the blue, and I'm like, oh, like I had no idea he would think of me for that, and then he did. But
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a massive round of applause to our Firefly panelists.